Fish Baby Daddy here, trying to get some plants going with some tissue cultures, and the plants ate them all. So we're going to try this again, maybe with a little rougher plant. We're going to try it with Anubias and Petite. So let's try it. So I did a tissue culture in the past, and I was able to put some on this wood right here. You can see it's all gone. Oh, you got all these plecos here. You got one in here, and he's just, I think he just kind of tore this all up. And I got some little guys here and there that are getting real hungry. Then I had some other little pieces that were on this wood, and they're all gone. So I'm going to try it with Anubias and Petite. It's a much smaller tissue culture. You can see them on top here. I'm going to put those in the tanks, and let's see if we can get this going and see if we can get a little better success. Okay, so what we got is we got the Gorilla Glue. This is the super gel. It's clear. I'm going to put that on there. Got some nice good root structures on some of these plants. And then I'm going to glue these on to these pieces of wood. Give it about 30 seconds to a minute, and we're going to be good to go. Put them right in the tank. Okay, so you can see I glued it on to the end of this piece of this wood. Right here, the Anubias and the Petite. Put a little bit on the end here. Kind of get those roots to bind into the wood. Then I was able to put some here with some crazy glue. Let's give it another couple seconds, and I'm gonna put it right in the tank. Real quick before I actually put this in the tank, I wanna actually emphasize, we wanna actually glue the root structure. We don't actually wanna glue the rhizome. So the rhizome's kind of like the stem of the plant that's underneath there. We don't want that to actually hit the glue. And so what we're doing is, if we got good root structure, we can just adhere the glue to the wood with the roots, and it will bind really well. So you can see in this video now that we gotta have the Anubias Petite bound to the wood. I got some right here, and I got some more on this wood right here. So hopefully we can get this stuff to grow out, and I think it'll respond real well. And we're gonna add some more light structure. You can see I add some better lights to the system. If you can't, we'll kind of talk about that here in a second. But I think the idea is getting a little more lights, and then I'm going to try to pump in some CO2 potentially in here, and I think that will actually really make this tank pop. Did a little upgrade with the lights. I got some Hygers with some better spectrum of light. What was happening before is I had some Hygers, but they just had blue and white light, and they were starting to die. They're starting to wear out. So I got two of these to actually lay out there on the tank. And then what I'm hoping is that with the combination of this and maybe some CO2, we can really start seeing some nice growth with some of these plants in here. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with the way it's laid out. I think it's gonna look good with the little tiny plants. I like this Anubias Nana Petite, gives a little more accents, and it'll help, the root structure will grow into the wood with the help of the glue. We'll kind of put that in there and have that root structure kind of grow out to the piece of that wood. And we'll see how it plays out. Most of the plants you're going to see in that tank where I actually put the Anubias Nana Petite, they like slightly harder water. So if I'm doing a water change in a 40 gallon, I'll probably take out over 50% of the water on a weekly basis. And I'll probably put 15 gallons of hard tap water in there. And I'll mix just a little bit of soft water, around 100 TDS, so it just doesn't get too high. That way, if I want to put the CO2 in, a little bit of softer, slightly softer water, just a little bit, can actually help, with the plants a little bit. But I think overall, Anubias Nana Petite, they like harder water. And what also really responds well to harder water is the Neocaridea shrimp I have in there. A lot of my plecos I have in there are pretty resilient, but they won't necessarily respond or eat the Anubias. And so I think I have a better chance with those smaller plants being a little bit tougher texture, and I can actually just feed them zucchini once in a while. I think we should be good. Overall, with the lights, I think with the wood, and now we got the accents of the little pieces of the Anubias, I think the layout's gonna look pretty good. And I got a nice combination of hard water with a little bit of soft water mix, and I think that'll be the right combination to actually get these plants to take off. So in the next couple weeks, I'll probably do an upgrade with the CO2, like I said, and we'll probably piggyback off another video to see how that's doing. And I'm pretty happy with the light system, the way it's set up. Got them on a timer for roughly probably about 7 hours right now. We'll see how the tank responds. I like to adapt with a lot of nutrients, or not a lot, but a certain type of nutrients. and I'll show you that mix here in a second. So this is my combination that I use for this 40-gallon breeder with the plant tank. I'll use Easy Carbon to actually help with some of the reduction of algae. I'll use Easy Green. I'll use that sparingly. I'll probably use probably 3 pumps to go into the tank, so that'll be roughly 1 pump per 10 gallons. With the potassium, I like to put a little bit more in there because I know Anubias really likes the potassium. It's one of the first things they're going to gobble up. So I'll put 2 capfuls of there in the tank after I do about 50% water change, and this is probably once a week. And then with the 2-hour Aquarius, you're looking at APT 0 and APT 3 complete. And I'll probably just put 2 pumps of that in, as kind of act as a macronutrient for the plants as well. So that about wraps it up for the plant tank. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got something out of it. Pretty easy to actually do the glue on with the wood. And I encourage you to do that. It makes it look a lot more natural. And with the glue, it makes it way easier. So until next time, fish baby daddy.